So yeah, I am trying to buy a house. And yeah, I feel like I'm glutton for punishment. Hello everyone, welcome back to Women Work Your Faith. My name is Sylvia Johnson, and if this is not your first time here, you probably realize I'm missing my partner in crime, Kenesha Morris. She and I, just if you all had noticed, we don't live together. So during the pandemic, we had an abundance of time, and it was easier to record videos together because we were both at home. But as the world is opening up, I am in my office more. I am doing more activities and planning and engaging with people through work and church. She is working with her husband as they just opened a new church. Her kids are in school, and so our schedules are just going every which way. So you will see us sprinkle in more videos about our lives outside of the time that we are together talking here and there. So don't worry, we're still in this together, but you will see us rolling independently from time to time. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. I am going to talk about my experience in the home buying process right now, in the madness and the craziness of today's housing market. So I'm just going to give you some background information about how I came to this choice, where I'm looking, what I'm looking for, what my experience has been so far, and where I am now in the process. So if you all remember me speaking, I think in our update video, about a month and a half ago, I talked about something that I wanted to change for this year, and I wanted to move. And that's not a new thing for 2021. That's actually something that I started 5 years ago, maybe. I started looking into moving. I actually moved here. I live in a condo now. I moved here about 14 years ago. So at that time, I thought that I would live here, you know, a few years, get married, have a family, move to a house. None of that happened. No, didn't have that. So while I was waiting for life to happen, I just was here, continuing to be here. And I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. It's a nice sized condo, and it's a great place to live. But I was outgrowing the space. So in comes 2020, the year. We're just gonna call it the year because it was the year that all of this was supposed to happen. This year, after spending so much time at home and having to work from home, and now with my job, we have a hybrid schedule moving forward for the foreseeable future. So this bedroom is now my office, and so I'm walking between, you know, like 2 bedrooms all day. With no outdoor space. Yeah, I was like, yeah, we coming up out of here. It's time. I read somewhere that said that the average price of housing is up 20.9%. Okay? And now this is my personal experience, and I'd be interested to know if you're looking for a house, or if you recently purchased a house, what was the showing process like for you? Put a little note down in the comment section how it was when you were searching. Here, right now, the showing process, a house comes on the market, and then tomorrow it's sold. No, okay, so the house comes on the market. You ask your realtor to help you get a showing. That showing needs to take place that day or the next day, because within 2 to 3 days the house is sold. And what most people who are placing homes on the market are doing, and I'm assuming they're doing this at the behest of their real estate agents, they are setting a deadline for offers. So let's say today, like right now, today is Wednesday. If a house came on the market today, they would ask for offers to be turned in by no later than 6 o'clock on Friday. So that means everybody that wants to see the house needs to see it between now and then, and assess during that showing what it's worth. Well, what that does is it closes the window of time that people can come see the home. So whereas you might have spent an hour walking through a house and really assessing it and what it was worth, you might get 30 minutes. Okay? And some places are doing 15-minute showings. I can't even walk through this little piece of stuff in 15 minutes and look at everything. So how am I supposed to know in 15 minutes whether or not I want to commit the next 30 years of my life to this property, and if it's worth the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're asking for it? And I will tell you that I have seen a number of homes, and of the number of homes I've seen, I've come to 4 that I thought were potential residential places for me, and only 1 have I made an offer on. And as you can see, I didn't get it. So as I'm still here. Okay, I just turned on some more light because it's getting dark out there and I don't feel like setting up the whole lighting kit. The house that I did bid on, I bid slightly over. I'm on a budget. I don't have $50,000 extra to give you, okay? But I did bid slightly over. And they went with another bid that had a no appraisal contingent, that had no contingency on appraisal. So somebody that basically had guaranteed funding regardless of what the house was worth. And I couldn't match that. Wasn't gonna try to. So, you know, they got the house. And I wasn't like horribly disappointed, but it really brought to my face how challenging this market is going to be for me, because even though I don't have other contingencies, I'm not buying a home without it being appraised, and I'm not going to buy it without an inspection. So if some people just out there throwing cash, you know, I ain't going to be able to do that. So I'm going to take you all with me and show you, you know, some of the neighborhoods and things like that that I look at, and try to take you with me to an open house if I can find one. There's a neighborhood nearby that has 2 houses for sale. And yesterday afternoon, my agent gets a message from one of the agents saying that, hey, we know you have a showing scheduled, but we've decided to have an open house during that time. Guess my little one self wasn't enough. They needed to drum up some more competition, you know, so they can get the best offer or whatever. But that's fine. I actually didn't want to see that house. I'm not interested in it. It didn't appeal to me. I just wanted to compare it to the other house down the street that I liked, to see if the one that I liked was the better option. So, whoa. I read an article today about FOMO, fear of missing out, and how people buy impulsively because of what's going on in the market, and they see everyone around them doing something and they feel like they got to get in on it. And so driving through the neighborhoods that I like helps keep me grounded, and it helps me remember that I am buying with purpose, right? This is not like when I go into Sephora and I see the new makeup and I'm like, oh, I'll try this, and I get home, I'm like, oh, no, this is a bad idea, and I just take it back. You know, once you have a house, you have a house. So there will be no return receipt later. Well, I just left that house. I tried my best because the house was currently occupied not to get any clips of identifying things of the people that live there. I did like, the way that the kitchen and the bathrooms were set up. I didn't like the yard, and I will say though that I thought it was a little bit overpriced. I am back at home now, and I just wanted to say a few things to wrap up my thought process and what I'm dealing with right now. So as of yet, I haven't found the home, right? I don't have anything, that I've been able to purchase, and I'm okay with that. So the home prices are going up, up, and up. And so I told myself, and I continue to say this to myself, I don't want to be house rich and money poor. So I'm not going to get into these bidding wars and feel pressured. Well, I do feel pressured, but allow that feeling of pressure to push me to do something that I'm going to regret for the next 30 years, right? Or 15 years, or however long it takes me to pay off the house. I'm not going to put myself into a financial bind and suffer. I have just been trusting God and, really thinking about Him watching over me. So, and using what He has given me in good sense and knowledge and wisdom, right? To make the right decision. I'm not just praying like, Jesus, send me the right house. I am doing that prayer, by the way, but that ain't the only thing I'm doing, right? I'm putting some feet on that prayer and I'm doing my research. I am looking and seeing, what's in the market and what things are important to me and how much do those things cost reasonably. What is a must do right now? So if I needed to have certain things in the house right now, how much would it cost for me to take care of that right now? And what can I wait on? If I am looking at, having a house, I live in a condo, right? And I was talking to my dad about this today. I don't have a lawnmower. I don't have a sprinkler system. It's very hot right now, and it's only May. Those are all things that I'm going to have to buy on top of the house. So there are things that are going to add up in the house purchase that aren't tied into the house purchase. And so I can't be pushed and allow my feelings or my emotions to drive me to do something because I love this house or I gotta have this house. I have to trust in God that if I make a wise decision, He will back me in that. And sometimes that wise decision is saying no. I'm also thinking about, some other scriptures, and this is what I and Kenesha talk about when we're like, we don't quote scripture, but I think, thank you, Holy Ghost, for bringing things back to my mind when I need it, right? And as I'm, kind of getting frustrated sometimes, because I'm human, I have feelings. And, I go looking online to these houses, or I get the little email that says what's listed, and I'm like, none of these meet my need, or these cost too much. I have to remember that my Father knows I have need of these things. And I have a friend, and this is a great friend that I love dearly. And he is like a brother to me. His name is Elder William Drake. And he preached a message a long time ago. Well, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Anyway, he preached the message. And I'm sorry if the screen is shaking because I have the camera sitting on top of my table. And y'all know we talk with our hands. But anyway, he preached a message some years ago. And in it, he talked about this is the season of consider the lilies. And if you think back to that scripture, Jesus was telling them to consider the lilies, how they don't work. They ain't slaving every day, trying to figure out how they're going to make it, how they're going to get fed, how they're going to find water, how they're going to do this. But the Lord takes care of them. And as beautiful as they are, they haven't had to slave over that process to become that way. And we mean more than the lilies, right? And so when I get to a point where I'm like, I I need this, or I know this is important and I don't think this is going to work out, or how am I going to be able to do this? And I want to put my hand in it and kind of mess up the situation or shake it up myself, I can hear that voice come back to me saying, but this is the season of consider the lilies. And, you know, God knows what I have need of and where I'm trying to go and where He desires for me to be. So if I need a new home, I need to consider myself as greater than those lilies and understand that my Father in heaven will provide that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date on what's going on with Kenesha and I, and so that you can find out if I'm able to purchase a home this year like I planned.